For all the concern and worry that Nintendo would have an empty and radio silent Q4 2020, they actually went and had themselves one heck of a fall-winter season. Today we're talking about how they achieved that, what games they have waiting for us still to play around Christmas time, and a super stealthy Among Us glitch that I know all of you are going to want to hear about. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Smash that like button and let me know in the comments down below if you have been impressed by Nintendo as of late. They've really impressed me, and they've done it in an unconventional way, thanks to their deep indie partnerships. First, they unleashed Hades upon us, a death blow, if you will, because that game quickly rose the ranks as one of the top titles of 2020. And the only place you can play it on the couch or on the go is Nintendo Switch. What a smart move. Then they decided to load up December with a lot of releases. Immortals Fenyx Rising, Doom Eternal, showing that it's not just the indie space, not just their exclusives, but also a little bit of love from the other publishers. We know Nintendo is fantastic at dropping the Marios, the Zeldas, the Smash Bros, the Animal Crossings. And in the Switch era, they've become extra awesome at uniting the indie scene with the Nintendo audience. And so it made sense on December 15th to have an Indie World presentation where they didn't talk about Hollow Knight Silksong, they didn't talk about Eastward, they didn't talk about Balto, but they did talk about Among Us, another console exclusive just for Switch fans, and a massive game that was quite the mighty surprise. This is all the talk of the town, it's all the talk of the Zoom meetings, it's all the talk of the pandemic, stay at home and find something to play. It's the biggest thing, right? And Nintendo got it for us. This is why they're so successful here at the end of the year, not because they had a massive new Mario game, not because Breath of the Wild 2 was ready to push out, but because they still packed it in. And there's still more. Right, they have a lot of titles releasing between now and the end of the year. One of them that I'm super excited for, Super Meat Boy Forever, was discussed at the Indie World presentation. That game's December 23rd. It is also a console exclusive on Nintendo Switch, which feels so freaking good as of right now. Whether these are timed or permanent doesn't really matter. The best place to play indies is Nintendo Switch. The best place to play exclusives is Nintendo Switch. Everything in between, you still want to probably go the PlayStation or Xbox side of things in terms of graphics and third party and online gameplay, but Nintendo is making a case that this system is more than a Mario Maker. And I love the inclusion of Among Us because it's something everybody wanted. They've got the trifecta. They've got Among Us, they've got Hades, they've got Fortnite. They really just need Fall Guys, and then they'd be perfect in terms of indies in 2020. I think that would cement Nintendo Switch as the ultimate place for these fun, smaller titles. But alas, Among Us, what is this deal, this glitch? Well, we know that they teased a new map, the airship map, for the game in 2021, but you can play it right now on Nintendo Switch. I don't know if they're gonna patch this out. I don't know if it's an intentional surprise for Nintendo fans, but if you grab the game for $5 and want to see this map, here's how you can get it done. It's actually quite simple. All you gotta do is create a local game and pick the airship map. Then back out of the local game, go to an online game, do not select a map, create your lobby, get 4 players in there, and you can play the airship. Now, it's not fully functional, and you can kind of glitch through walls, and there's some elements that seem unfinished, so clearly this is still in the development stages, waiting for its official 2021 release. But if you're a massive Among Us fan, go do this right now, because for all I know, the more we talk about it, the more likely they are to patch it out and say, holy crap, put an airlock on the airship and let's wait till it's officially ready. But the game is so good on Switch, they allow crossplay, which is fantastic. You get the little code, you can play with someone on iOS, you can play with someone on PC. You can't play with someone on PS4 or Xbox One because it's a console exclusive, and here is where Nintendo is so smart. I don't know if this is a Furukawa decision, I don't know if this is a Doug Bowser decision, I don't know if this is an entire team decision, but look, they weren't able, due to COVID, to push out probably Breath of the Wild 2. I anticipate that that was their holiday title. I'm guessing that that's what they really wanted to put forth in 2020, especially to compete against the launches of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. But given all the slowdown, given work from home and how that affected development dramatically, they weren't able to make it happen. But they didn't say, hey, we're just going to sit back and call it quits. They were able to get Age of Calamity out there. They did have their third-party deals with Immortals and Doom Eternal, and they have a massive indie push. And this is super important to keep players feeling like their system is fertile. One of the biggest complaints of past generations is when Nintendo wasn't releasing their tentpole first-party titles, the system was barren. right? It was like farming in Animal Crossing. All there were pumpkins and nothing else. It's like they didn't quite care or didn't figure out that you need more seeds to grow a luscious garden. And yet Nintendo has learned their lesson. And that's why it's so exciting that they're putting out so many titles in December. Dicey Dungeons wasn't even featured at the Indie World. In fact, it was leaked as it was supposed to come out on December 15th, and then it didn't show up, and then the creator of the game said, I don't know, and then boom! In the evening, it did release. And if you're looking for something to play, Dicey Dungeons is so much fun. This is one I've been waiting for all year, and just goes to show that Nintendo is dropping quality, top-tier indies that are console exclusives, that were formerly on other platforms, that are brand new. They've got a smorgasbord of everything. I will acknowledge that it's a bit of a bummer that Silksong and Eastward and Balto and games of that ilk did not get mentions, but that's much more on the developers than it is on Nintendo. They're probably just struggling to get the game done, and we need to be understanding. This year was bananas for everybody, including game developers. They were not completely, separated from all of the chaos, and I'm sure they suffered and struggled as well. So it's not Nintendo's fault that Hollow Knight isn't ready. It's really not anybody's fault. It's just the way it went this year. But there are more games coming with Super Meat Boy Forever on the 23rd, and then the 25th, Christmas Day, is littered with Bit Trip titles, and then Dungeon Top, which sounds like the most boring, basic game, but I loved it on PC, and I'm so happy it's coming to Switch. This is going to be another great roguelike for the system, just increasing the arsenal and building out the library. So many games come to Switch. Many fail. Some are insanely successful. But the sheer variety is impressive as all heck. And to use December as a month that's traditionally reserved for not much, right? It's using your gift cards on November releases, and occasionally Sakurai will throw a Smash Brothers title out there. He loves December. But other than that, this month usually is barren. But look at it for Switch. Immortals, Doom Eternal, Dicey Dungeons, Among Us, Bit Trip, Dungeon Top, Super Meat Boy Forever, and Grindstone, okay? And Wingspan is coming on the 29th. A lot of games that made appearances at past Indie Worlds are actually showing up in big numbers in December. And they've got something for you every step of the way. So if you get an eShop gift card in your stocking, if you're bored and looking for something to do with your family, if you're sick of your family and looking for something to do alone, I love that Nintendo has loaded up the final month of the year with so many releases. It's not something I ever really remember happening. I know we've gotten a couple games in December, Xenoblade, and like I mentioned, Smash Brothers, but usually the month is reserved for reflecting and for purchasing the games that are now on sale. But Nintendo says, nah, we're gonna keep it coming, even if we can't keep it coming with our first-party studios. And we know that they have a lot in store. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Bravely Default 2, Pokemon Snap. We've got a lot of games coming from them in 2021, including, I expect, Breath of the Wild 2 to release. Monster Hunter Rise is coming out soon, and I wanted to make a quick mention about that game, because did you know that Nintendo paid $6 million in order to secure console exclusivity for Monster Hunter Rise? Now, this again shows Nintendo having that fantastic fall-winter season that I mentioned at the top of the video. They are making sure they're doing what they can in all the spaces. Even if they can't have their big characters out there for you to buy on Black Friday, they are making sure that they fill in the gaps and take care of you and me as Switch owners. They're ensuring that we start 2021 off with a good feeling. And even if they decide to release that Switch Pro at some point in 2021, which I really think they will, hopefully there's no hard feelings, because they've gone hard for us here in Q4. Hades and Among Us, and then bringing even more games like Wingspan. It's amazing and impressive, and there's so much I want to play right now. It's like we need to do a whole separate eShop review just for December, because there's so many games. And there's a few in the Indie World presentation that didn't get a lot of buzz that are actually downright beautiful. And there's some games that are sneaking out in December that I'm probably not even aware of. Do you guys have a favorite Switch game that you're picking up this month, or one you're really excited is still coming this year? It's just crazy that it's December 16th and we still have Switch stuff to be excited for. And I think they're doing a really nice job of ensuring that everybody is pretty happy. Even as you look to PS5 and Series X and you say, wow, those graphics are gosh darn amazing. Maybe soon we'll have 4K on Switch. But if not, at least we have Among Us, and that might be the best move at all. You look at stats and figures, who's watching what. Cyberpunk is the biggest game of the year, but it's not really. It's actually Among Us, and it's actually Minecraft, and Fortnite, and Fall Guys. And all of those except Fall Guys are on Nintendo Switch, showing that they do get it, even if a lot of times it seems like they don't get it. For every mistake Nintendo makes, I think they're making smarter moves in the right direction. And frankly, I think 2021 is going to be a star-studded year for them. You might think they'd slow down entering the 5th year of Nintendo Switch, but I'm guessing it's going to be one of their best, if not their biggest yet. With the rumor of Breath of the Wild 2 releasing in 2021 and some things kind of squirming around about a new Splatoon title, maybe even another Mario, plus new IP, you got Mario 3D World, Pokemon Snap, and maybe even a Diamond Pearl remake, could this year be their best yet, 5 times in? That would be remarkable, but we know that if they're going to get it done, it will be with the oomph and the boost of indie games. And thankfully Nintendo has not left them behind, and they've not left anyone behind in December. I appreciate the job they've done, and I'm so pumped that we get to enjoy it this holiday season together. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Smash that like button, and go check out that Among Us glitch. See if you can still get into the airship map, and let me know what you think. Follow us on Twitter, join up our Discord, check out our new merch, and until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic freaking day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart out there. I love you a lot. SwitchForce, out.